What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to put this video together here because, man, oh man, when I made my movement video a while ago, I can't tell you how many people came at my neck and said, JB, you're an absolute idiot. You're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. And they're going to nerf this movement into the dirt because this is not what Xdefiant's supposed to be. Xdefiant never had movement in it. Like they've been playing this game since day one. And I'm just sitting here back, chilling, saying, whatever you say, do you. It's not like I've been playing since the first alpha or anything, but whatever you want, enjoy yourself. And here we are with the brand new update for Xdefiant that introduced, obviously, the movement changes and also a few tweaks to the snipers, which we will discuss a little bit later in this video. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you guys something. It's a really solid update, but I don't think too many people in the community are happy right now about it. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with all the updates for Xdefiant or anything regarding Modern Warfare 3 or even Black Ops 6, make sure that bell icon is clicked off for this channel. And if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, we actually, played this new update live and in action where you guys got to see my impressions live and you got to hang out with me, vibe out, chat it up. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, tune in my stream today. We'll be live over on Twitch between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And you guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got this brand new update here. I guess I'll talk about the sniper rifles first and foremost since I went ahead and picked one up off the ground in this gameplay here. Not shabby. They went ahead and nerfed the sniper rifles, and a lot of people were worried that they're going to be garbage, but they're not. They're still extremely good, very powerful. They feel extremely clean to move around with and engage with. They just added a little bit of flinch. Now, I did see a post by Exclusive Ace. I don't know how true this is because he did claim on this post that he didn't do very, very in-depth testing. It's just his first initial testing, so we might have a video out today or maybe tomorrow going a little bit deeper into how the flinch is working for the sniper rifles. But in his first initial test that he showcased over on Twitter, apparently if you land a headshot, the sniper flinch goes down. So basically it's going to go down towards your stomach area. And if you land, a body shot, it's going to go upwards. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'll tell you one thing. When I'm going up against sniper rifles, I do not run into any more situations. I gotta be real with you guys. Yeah, they still clap me. I still get clapped. It is what it is. They clap the living hell out of me. It is what it is. But I don't find myself afraid of them anymore. Beforehand, when I saw a sniper glint, I just chalked it up. I said, I'm not even challenging. It's no point in challenging because it does not matter how many shots you get off. That sniper scope isn't moving anywhere. But now, completely different. If I see a sniper scope, I have a little bit more confidence to go ahead and chow them because I know for a fact that their sniper is going to flinch if I am skilled enough to get the first shot off. And if they're more skilled and they can get the first shot off, they're going to destroy me. It just is what it is, but I think it's at a nice balance point right now. But of course, leave your opinions down below about how the snipers feel to you personally in the comments section because I am curious to see what you guys say. And as you guys know on this channel, I'm always very active in the early AM. So if you guys want to interact with me on this video, usually I'm here for the first hour or two when the video goes live and then I'm up, I'm awake, I have to go grind and work and all that stuff. So I'm not on my my app, YouTube Studio app as frequently to respond to comments. But if you guys want to interact a little bit earlier on, I'm usually there. But like I said, leave your opinions about snipers below. But let's move over to another feature that got kind of, messed around with in this, and that is the netcode. Apparently, the Libertad med box was causing problems with the netcode. I don't know why, but apparently it was. So they went ahead and did some tweaks. They didn't tweak the Libertad, obviously ability. It's still the same, but they did some tweaks behind the scene to hopefully make the netcode a bit better. Now, does this improve the netcode overall, on this channel? We're always honest. I got to keep it 110% with you. No, I don't see any massive changes. Do I see some slight improvements? Yes, I will say that. I do see slight improvements, but is it there yet to being completely polished off? No. But again, I have to bring this up all the time because people don't seem to understand this. I'll scroll all through Reddit and I see the same thing. Oh, they've been working on this netcode for a year plus, and it's still so bad. How could they? God, I can't stand it. So every single video that I discuss the netcode, I always try to set this clear. So at least the people who view my content can actually be knowledgeable enough, actually have the, knowledge about what's actually going on here. Guys, the netcode is brand spanking new, okay? When they went ahead and delayed this game, they delayed it for the social feature and obviously to change up the netcode because they got a lot more players than they expected hopping into the experience. So the netcode we're playing on is brand new, and it only got tested one time. Not a year plus of 5, 6, 7, 8 betas where they tested out the netcode to polish it off. No, this is literally a netcode that got tested one time in a server stress test that wasn't even that popular. Barely anybody hopped into it. So you have to think they barely got any information off of that. And then literally the game drops and they get an overwhelming abundance of information thrown their way. You know, so it's hard. They're doing their best. Chill. For the love of God, chill. It has not been out for a year plus, and if I see another person say, oh, this netcode's been worked on for a year plus again, I'm just going to have to keep saying, you don't know what's going on. Get your facts straight before you start splurging this information everywhere. Now, if another 2, 3, 4 months down the road this netcode is still garbage, then yeah, we have a problem, because then yeah, it had just as much time as the previous netcode. But in my eyes, this is still extremely new, and it's actually performing pretty good for a brand new netcode, in my opinion. So devs, you guys are doing a good job here. Keep polishing it, and don't let these douchebags on the internet give you any crap. Just keep doing your thing and get this work done. But guys, the biggest part of this update that, like I said, I really want to discuss with you guys, and it's going to get some people salty, is the movement. Yes, they went ahead and toned back the b-hoppings to make sure it wasn't spammable. But like I said, that was the only issue, is that the movement, the b-hopping, was spammable. That's it. For some reason, when people saw this nerf coming in, they thought like jumping was going to be out of the game, just completely stripped from Xdefiant or something of that sort. And I'm like, no, not at all. This game had movement, guys. All they had to do was just add in the sway, and that's exactly what they did. After 4 consecutive b-hops, your aim sway is going to go through the roof. Meaning, and I'm not even lying, it's going to go through the freaking roof. You're not landing a single shot. And if you do land a shot, you're versing someone who is in an actual trash can. I gotta be honest, because it's just not doable, really. And this update right here has done such a fantastic thing for Xdefiant, because I no longer see people going to town with b-hopping, because it also slows you down a bit. Every single time you hop, it reduces your movement speed, and you have to allow it, like I think it's 1.25 seconds until your movement speed goes back to normal. Again, we have more details going to really in depth on the movement and, you know, real changes down to the numbers and everything, so I'm going to showcase that to you guys later. But I just wanted to say that this update did amazing things for the game, because I don't see people spamming it every 5 seconds, and when they do spam it, it's usually in a tighter, you know, close quarter engagement where they're trying to knock off your aim a bit. And if they spam it too long, they're completely penalized. They can't land shots anymore. So they have to be able to strategically think of how they want to b-hop, because once they get to that 4th b-hop, it's a GG in the chat. It's over. They are no longer going to land any more bullets, which is exactly how this should be done. Now, I will say, I think a little bit of a tweak to making it 3 b-hops before it kicks in would be a little bit better. It would feel a tad bit better, which they did say they tested behind the scenes. They liked it, but they ended up opting into, you know, 4 b-hops. But they want to just put it out there and test it, and 3 b-hops is not out of the picture. So we could potentially see that in the future, but I'll be real. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments section. But personally, I think 3 b-hops would be the perfect spot, because I feel 4 is still a tad bit spammy when it comes to these engagements. I feel like 3 b-hops is nice. You can still get a little bit of movement at the beginning phase of your gunfights. But if your gunfight is lasting a bit too long, because, you know, both of you might have a little choppy aim, I don't think you should be able to rely on b-hopping anymore at that point. It should be all gun skill, all accuracy. I feel like b-hopping should be a way to introduce yourself into the gunfight, but once you fail and you can't actually land shots and you can't match your accuracy with your bunny hops, I think you should be penalized a little bit sooner. I think 4 is still a bit out there, but it's not bad. Like I said, it still feels so much better than it did before. But seriously, to the developers, you guys did a phenomenal job. I mean, there's no tougher challenge than having your community completely split in the middle. People saying they don't want any nerfs whatsoever, and they love how b-hopping is, and they want to spam the living hell out of it. And then you have the other side who despise every last bit of b-hopping, every last bit of movement. They want it a lot slower. It's hard. That's literally 50-50 on this community right now. So, you know, whatever they do, whatever they did, there's going to be disappointed people. And like I said, there are plenty, and let me tell you, there are plenty of disappointed people. I'll probably get a lot of hate in this video as well on all this stuff. I always do, man. I always do when I, you know, give my opinion about movement within these games. But this is hard. It's not easy. And I think they did a perfect job with finding a middle ground. The movement is untouched, and that was my biggest concern. I was concerned that the movement would feel disgusting and that they were going to literally dump everything down in favor of, just trying to please newcomers into Xdefiant, but they didn't. They kept the core feel of Xdefiant intact, while at the same time nerfing down the B-hop problem, so people can't just sit there and, hold on, I don't know if you guys can hear, I don't know if I should probably spam this. I'm gonna spam it, forget it. I don't think it's any sound, maybe it will be sound, but that's what people do, man. That's literally what people do in Xdefiant. That's all they do, and that is a joke. It's ridiculous, it looks stupid, and it puts a horrible reputation on people who actually know how to B-hop. That crap had to come to an end. Those players had to be put in their place, and they got put in their place. I think the developers did great here. But let's get into the real details of, this overall update with the movement, and so you guys can really understand what the heck is going on here. This is a really long post, so, buckle up, and we're going to dive deep into it. Insight on our latest movement update. So first, let's clarify a few things regarding our movement. We have always had jump fatigue, which applies to both jump height and player speed. This dates back to some of our earliest insider sessions. But of course, all the people who are coming in who only played Xdefiant once when it finally launched apparently have all the knowledge, and they know for a fact how this game played during those early days. But whatever, man. For jump height, it is reduced by 30% for each consecutive jump within a period of time. Phenomenal. For player speed, it is reduced by 20% for each consecutive landing within a period of time, and you quickly resume full speed. Again, another fantastic feature. Like regular movement speed, the weapon you are using also affects your base ADS jump height. This value is 1-1 with the movement speed modifiers we use for each weapon class. So pistols and SMGs, better than ARs, etc. There are some exceptions, like the MDR uses SMG movement speed modifiers. So, guns that are in different classes, but they're meant to, how obviously the MDR is an AR, but it's supposed to feel more like an SMG. They do give it SMG factors. Another thing we do is slow ADS time by 10% if you attempt to ADS any time during a jump. So those are the things that we have always had. Now let's talk about what we added. If you played during the closed beta a year ago, you might remember our ADS sway penalty for jump and crouch spam behavior. Let's dive into how it works. Our philosophy is pretty simple. We want all players to be able to utilize all of our movement mechanics, but keeping in mind, it's possible to have too much of a good thing. Jump crouch spam penalty. What is the penalty? Once you reach the minimum number of inputs, we add sway in ADS and spread in hipfire to your weapon. That will get continuously worse until it reaches its maximum amount. What triggers this? We will give you 3 inputs within 1-second intervals, penalty free. Each time you initiate a jump, that timer refreshes, and if you hit a 4th jump while that timer is running, we will trigger the penalty. Worth noting, jump and crouch are fully separated inputs and have independent counters from each other, and sliding does not count as crouch for this, basically meaning you can't crouch 2 times and then jump 2 times and the penalty activates. No, you need to literally either jump 4 times or crouch 4 times. No in-betweens, and that's when the penalty activates. How long does this last? Both the sway and spread penalty will last 1.25 seconds. I hope this gives everyone a little more insight into how this behavior works and where our intent is. We don't want to remove core mechanics or hinder player movement. We just want to minimize the excessiveness of spamming them. It's also worth mentioning that while this is our first iteration, we will continue to monitor, listen, and evaluate future movement updates as we are live, which again is amazing. It's why I love this development team, because no matter what, our opinions still matter. So if this isn't good enough, there is still potential in the future for things to be changed. But this is good. Like I said, I don't even see people spamming B-hop anymore because, like he said, all the factors that were in previous betas are back in this game now. So if you jump, you automatically lose speed. You're not going to run as fast. So you don't see people sitting here spamming B-hop around the map doing their thing. No, people are timing it out a bit more, because if you jump too much, you just lose speed altogether. Not even just losing accuracy, you lose initial speed. Like I said, B-hopping is back to being more of a skill gap than it is being a spamming mechanic, which is just outstanding. But again, for those who didn't understand how this works, there you got it. Again, you have to initiate it by jumping either 4 times or you crouch 4 times, and it's on a timer. So each time you jump, that timer begins, and if you wait long enough, then it won't initiate. But, typically if you want to B-hop correctly, you're going to keep jumping pretty quickly. So, it's a good balance in my opinion. I think it's a good balance. It adds spread to the hip fire, it adds spread to the ADS, and it makes you pretty much crap. You're absolutely crap out of luck if you initiate this without thinking of it, which is a skill gap in itself, because now we have to keep this in mind. For the skilled players who do enjoy B-hopping, you have to know that after your 4th B-hop or after your 4th crouch, this will initiate. So you have to time the mechanic, which, like I said, is a skill gap. I love that. But at the same time, my biggest, feedback to this is maybe reduce it to 3. I feel like they should have started with 3 and then increase it to 4, because it's a little weird because we never tried 3. What if we hate it, and then we go from 4 to 3 and then back to 4? I think it would have been better to start lower and then work our way higher. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it turns out. I think 3 would be the perfect spot. But of course, you guys know I would love to know what you guys think down below. But once again, to the developers, great job with this update. I really like it. I think it's good. Great improvements, and they're also having another update to finish off everything next Wednesday. So, keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled to make sure you hear about all this information, and yeah, we'll see how things turn out. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time, and if you want to check out any of my live streams, I will be live today over on Twitch between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.